Liz here with your Daily Lizard, and today's book is Drive. Oh, if you know me, you know one of my favorite books. If you haven't read it, I'm just going to beat up on you until you read it anyway, because it's just such a good's not a good enough word, a great book for anyone that has to manage people. If you have to manage people, you need to know what motivates people. And this book is all about what motivates people. So what we're going to be talking about over the next few days is the idea of carrots and sticks. Have you heard of carrots and sticks? Carrots is the idea of, we hold this carrot out in front of someone. So the idea, first let me tell you where this idea comes from. Carrots and sticks comes from horse racing. And you'd dangle a carrot on a string or a pole, I guess, in front of the horse to make them run to try and get this carrot. And then a stick is, use a stick, I don't even want to say it, but to little owies for the horse, like to push the horse to go faster. So it's kind of like a punishment or a kind of an incentive, something that's held out in front of them, right? This is the idea of carrots and sticks. All right, so a long time ago, the idea of carrots and sticks came out, and I'm not gonna get into the history, you can look that up. Psychologists created it, and it was like, wow, this works really, really well. And you know what? Carrots and sticks work really well in certain environments. You know where they don't work as well? At work, unfortunately. And carrots and sticks work really good for short, very specific things. And they don't work very well for the vast majority of everything else that you want to motivate people for, which is really a bummer because carrots and sticks are just so much easier than what we're going to be talking about. All right, so the idea in Drive, here's the core idea, is that you want to engage somebody's intrinsic desires. You want to get them to feel like this desire is coming from within. If y'all have seen any of my presentations or if you've been to any of my events, you see me do this a lot, it's the want to. The intrinsic desire is getting people to want to do the thing. The extrinsic is saying, okay, you did the thing, here's your reward. Now, we tend to go that route most of the time. We want to reward people, or we want to hold out that carrot. You might want to be thinking something like, I'm going to have a Starbucks gift card, something like that. And if I tell them, if they do this thing, I'll give them the Starbucks gift card. Guess what? There are 7 reasons why that just doesn't work over time, and not only does it not work over time, you actually start getting negative behaviors. Negativity comes to the person, and they start feeling like they've been forced to do this thing, like they've been bought off. And you start getting a feeling from them of your character being called into question. So you gotta be really, really, really careful, because if you're not, you can set yourself up for a lot of bad things. All right, so over the course of the next few days, we're going to be talking about 7 bad things about carrots and sticks, and I'm just going to read them from the book here, and so I can tell you what they are and I don't get them wrong. The first one is, carrots and sticks can extinguish intrinsic motivators, which is that want to. We all acknowledge that if somebody wants to do something, that's when they're going to do their best work, right? All right, the second one is it can diminish performance. They can stop doing it as much, as often, as well. Again, don't want to. The third thing is it can crush creativity. Now, creativity is a huge piece of what makes people want to do things. They get to do it their own way. It's part of autonomy, right? So we don't want to crush people's creativity. The next one is it can crowd out good behavior. When people feel like they're being extrinsically motivated, it doesn't feel like it's the good in them. It feels like I'm doing it for me. It's a selfish thing. That can start to feel really bad for people. The next one is it can encourage, oh, this is a bad one, cheating, shortcuts, and unethical behavior. When you look at so many of the problems that have been set up in the world with these types of things, when you're seeing this stuff happen, cheating, shortcuts, and unethical behavior, a lot of times you'll find that it's tied that this behavior is tied to some extrinsic goals, things that were placed on people instead of things that they wanted to do. Not all the time, of course, but a lot of the time, enough of the time that you want to be careful. The next one is they can become addictive. They can get addicted to the carrots and the sticks, right? They can also get addicted to that. I'm sure you've all seen those people that, mostly you see this in your kids. They don't do the thing when you say, hey honey, would you do the dishes? Sure mom. 15 minutes later, hey Todd, I need you to do the dishes. Yeah, no mom, I'm gonna get to it. 15 minutes later, hey Todd, dishes still aren't done. And then a half hour later, Todd! And Todd jumps up and he goes and does the thing, right? Because you can get addicted to that stick. You're waiting for the stick. And that's dangerous because you don't want to have to be given the stick. All right, and then the last one is they can foster short-term thinking. That's not good either, right? So I'm going to show you how to avoid all of these problems with carrots and sticks by engaging the intrinsic motivator in all of us over the next few days. All right, for today, all you have to do is, for your daily activity, is just think on how often do you apply extrinsic pressure instead of engaging